Hi, and welcome to Creative Chelsea. Today I'd like to make a card using the stamp set from the July 2019 Paper Pumpkin Kit. And the only thing from the kit that we are using would be the stamp set and the ink pad. Now it came with a Stampin' Spot, so you're welcome to use that, but I'm just going to use a large ink pad for the video. Everything else you'll need to get from your own card making supplies. So I love this Medallion stamp that is part of the stamp set, and we're going to be making a background with it. We're going to be using two different stamping techniques to make this background. We're going to start with a Pear Pizzazz ink, and you really can do this with any color you want. I just really like the this color with the pretty peacock. So this piece of paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I will be cutting it down, but I want to stamp this stamp in a pattern, and so I need to be able to see, I need to be able to cut it down so that it kind of is even all sides. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a stamp on, stamp off, or stamp off, stamp on technique. It really is just getting two different variations of this ink color. So you can see that I'm inking it up, and then I'm stamping on full strength, and then I'm stamping again without inking it. And I would say like that's half strength, right? And so you're getting two different variations, and I'm alternating them so that I'm getting a pattern. So I'm going with a dark and then a light, and I'm doing alternation in rows and columns. So I'm lining up, I'm not rotating my stamp. I'm lining it up with these two little points on each stamp. At least I'm trying to. Okay, so there we go. We've got our pattern. Now you can leave it at this step if you like it a little simple. I'm going to go ahead and add some stamped images in these little spaces, and I'm going to use this stamp so it's bigger than that space, so we need to do a masking technique. So I've never done a masking technique on my channel before, but it's pretty simple. I like to use a post-it note for this. I'm going to clean my image, my stamp, and I'm going to get the pretty peacock. So what I need to do is I need to make a window that is this shape. So I'm going to stamp 4 medallions in the same spaces on my post-it note, and that will give me this shape, and then I'm going to cut this shape out and leave those medallions on the post-it note. So I'm going to show you that. So I've got my shape. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to snip right here between two of the medallions, and then I'm going to cut this shape out. And then I'm going to tape this. So I just have some washi tape laying around, just so that it stays together. All right, so I've got my shape. Now it's not going to be a perfect match every single time, but it is going to give me what I'm looking for. And so you can see that sometimes it comes into that shape a little bit. That's okay. So we are going to now do this inside in the Pretty Peacock, but I don't want it to be full strength because I kind of want it to be a little bit, I want it to be lighter, but I still want this color. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to line it up, and I want that, and then I'm going to stamp on and give it some good pressure, and then I can remove, and you can see that we've got that image. Then I'm just going to go to the next space and line it up, stick it down, ink up, stamp off, and then stamp on and give good pressure. Okay, so I'm just going to do this all around. So I'm going to do the inside and the edges. Okay, so there is my stamped background. You'll notice that I got some smudges on it. And I'm kind of one that doesn't redo my stuff. Once I've started, I'm just gonna make it work, even if it kind of messes up a little bit. So I might, you know, put some jewels here or rhinestones, or put a piece of paper to kind of cover up the little mistakes that I've made. Sometimes I'll turn it over and do the back. Stamp on the back, but I just don't, I mean, it's a handmade card, so it does, to me, it doesn't need to be perfect. So now we're going to stamp the sentiment or the greeting, and I like this "You're the best" for this card. I'm just going to do it on a half inch strip of paper, so it's a 1/2 inch by 3.5, and I'm going to try centering it right in the middle. So now I'm ready to assemble. I do need to cut this down though, because it is a little too big for me. So I'm going to take off a 1/2 inch on all sides. So I'm going to start by kind of getting an idea of where I want my first cut to be. And so my end card, I want it to be 3 3/4 on the shortest side. So I'm just kind of looking at that mark and kind of lining it up there and lining up, you know, so that it's kind of about the same on this side. So now I'm lining it at 3 3/4, and it's about the same. You can see those marks. And then this one, I want it to be 5 inches. So I'm just kind of doing the same thing, eyeballing where this line will be, where it's cutting, and kind of looking on this side where this line would cut, and kind of giving it about the same location on my medallions. Okay. So you can see we did that too. So my other pieces, I've got a pretty peacock, and that is just 1/8 of an inch wider. So I can just get a very tiny border around my pattern. And then I've got a card base in Pear Pizzazz. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer these with some snail. So this strip is about 4 inches and a little bit bigger than a half. So probably, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch by 4 inches. And I could move it over a little bit so then it's not right in the middle. Maybe that's what we'll do. So that we can cover up my mistakes. And I'm going to add some metallic thread and silver to the back just to give it a little interest. And I'm just going to wrap it around my hand 5 times, 3, 4, 5, and then tear it. This is one of my favorite accessories. I love how it just gives a nice little shiny background. And then let's pop that up with some dimensionals. I've got the tiny ones from the paper pumpkin that I'm using. Alright, so we've got that, and then let's add some rhinestones. And you can add them just straight how they are, or you can color them. And you can color them with in Stampin' Blends. And these are the alcohol markers by Stampin' Up. And I've just got, what color do I have? The dark Night of Navy. And this is just going to give it a little bit of a blue hue. Oh, wrong side. Which will be fun for my card. And I have the 3 little smudges here, so I'm going to do 3 here and 2 here. So I need 5. Okay, so this card, it's very simple. It just has 2 different stamping techniques, which is fun. The stamp on, stamp off technique to give you 2 different color variations, and then a masking technique. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, and share. Visit creativechelsea.com for more information about Paper Pumpkin and to start getting your monthly kit. Have a creative day. Bye!